Hello folks, this is another video game pickup video. I'm excited to show you guys. This is from eBay, stuff I got from eBay, and pretty much Game Boy stuff. I happen to be looking on eBay and flying through all the pages for Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and I was able to find some games I needed for my collection. One I'm really excited to get. It's very rare to find complete in box, extremely rare. And I was able to get it for a pretty damn good price. I was hoping I didn't pay more than a certain amount, and it didn't even come close to it. So anyway, let's go right on into, I'm going to move the camera right over here. Let's go right on into exactly what I picked up. First, for the original Game Boy, I was able to pick up Word Zap. This is from Jalico. It's a puzzle type game here. And once you pick it up, you can't put it down. How do you spell challenge? You'll find out fast when you start banging heads to build 3, 4, or 5-letter words from a random group of letters. Then just when you think you've got it beat, your opponent zaps your word right off the screen, and it's back to square one. You can't stop playing because you can't top the mind-boggling madness of Word Zap. It's for 1 or 2 players, 2 challenging games, novice to expert levels, based on 10,000-word dictionary and Game Link for 2 Game Boys in tandem. Again, for the original Game Boy, we have Word Zap. Next up, for the original Game Boy, was able to pick up from Konami Animaniacs. It is a Super Game Boy game pack. And a lot of trouble is popping up at the Warner Brothers studio. Yakko, Wacko, and Dot are out of the water tower and running wild across the movie sets of Bungle in the Jungle, Remember the a la Mode, and To Scream or Not to Scream. Guide their hilarious hijinks to find power-ups and avoid crazy traps like catapults, runaway trains, and giant boulders. Use each character's special abilities and unique talents on your quest to collect the key movie props on each set. So you can watch your favorite Animaniacs characters like Ralph the Security Guard, Mindy, Buttons, and Pinky and the Brain. Yakko moves big obstacles and plays paddleball. Wacko is a smash with his mallet. Dot gets by with her irresistible charm. And here it shows you gameplay on the Game Boy Compact video game system and gameplay on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, which are both sold separately. So again, for the original Game Boy, we picked up Animaniacs. Next up, for the original Game Boy, was able to pick up WWF Superstars 2 from LJN, and it features steel cage and tag team action. Crunching clotheslines, devastating drop kicks, back-breaking body slams, step through the ropes for all-new WWF action. Match your skills against 6 of the toughest WWF Superstars in tag team and singles matches, on the mat, in the air, in the ring, or inside the steel cage. Use Game Link to lock up with a friend for the Ultimate WWF Wrestling Challenge. Choose your favorite WWF Superstars for the Ultimate Main Event. Steel Cage Excitement. 2 men go in, only 1 escapes victorious. All new tag team action, so wild it won't stay in the ring. And flying drop kicks and brutal body slams make you the next WWF champion. And it's an official WWF licensed product, World Wrestling Federation. So from LJN for the Game Boy, WWF Superstars 2. And then lastly, this is the game I was able to find. I can't even believe it. I didn't even think, on the list of games that I need to collect, I didn't think I'd ever find this, but I was able to, because I had actually never even heard of this until I looked at these game lists on the puregaming.org apps. But this is from Disney Interactive. It is Maui Mallard in Cold Shadow. It's a Super Game Boy game pack from Sunsoft. And when he morphs into a ninja, you'd better duck. Play as Maui, play as the ninja, play as Maui, play as the ninja, trying not to get dizzy. Find the missing Shaboom Shaboom idol before your island paradise goes kaboom kaboom. Hours and hours of intense gameplay, so pack plenty of attitude in your big gun. Come beak to beak with mud rakes, rotting pirates, duck zombies, Amazon warriors, and a bunch of foul-tempered hangers. Laugh in the face of danger as you test your duckhood in the realm of the dead and the ninja training grounds, then get the heck out. Live every level like it's your last, because it may be. And here it shows you gameplay on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, both sold separately, and then gameplay on the Game Boy Compact video game system from Disney Interactive Studios and Sunsoft. Maui Mallard in Cold Shadow. I'm shocked I was able to find this, and I'm super excited about it. Next up, for the Game Boy Color, this is in pretty much impeccable condition. Arthur's Absolutely Fun Day from the Learning Company. It's only for the Game Boy Color, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. So, join Arthur in 15 fun activities. Arthur wants to go to Wonder World Amusement Park, but he needs your help. To earn a free pass to the Wonder World, you need to help Arthur earn stars by playing different activities in Elwood City. Begin by diving for treasure at Bear Lake, racing a soapbox derby car, or shooting hoops at Arthur's house. Then you can challenge Buster to a game of air hockey and even sort delicious jelly beans at the candy store. Once you've earned enough stars, you can play bonus activities at Wonder World. Take a ride in a bumper car, sink the clown, and much more. So you get 15 replayable activities for hours of fun, 3 levels of difficulty in the 10 main activities, classic arcade-style games, play the games in any order, especially designed for kids 4 to 7. So here you have a basketball free throw, make 10 baskets and win a star, library helper, sort the books before you run out of time, and then it shows you gameplay in the Game Boy Color video game systems from the Learning Company. We got Arthur's Absolutely Fun Day for the Game Boy Color. Next up, for the Game Boy Color, this is one I also didn't think I'd get for a decent price. The box is not in the greatest of shapes. It's a little ripped at the top there. But I got the Sinister Six, Spider-Man 2, The Sinister Six from Activision and Marvel. It's only for the Game Boy Color, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Evil has a plan, do whatever a spider can. When Aunt May is kidnapped by Doc Ock and his band of supervillains, you're off to the rescue. But this kidnapping is just deployed to lure you into battle and end your days as a superhero. Can you survive their evil trap? So you have all new attacks, spin kicks, and immobilizing webbing is just what the spider ordered. All your favorite villains, Mysterio, Doc Ock, and others make New York a swinging nightmare. And all new power-ups use the Spidey armor to bash enemies and bring Aunt May home. You don't just play it, you live it. Gameplay on the Game Boy Color video game system. Again, from Marvel, you can go to Activision.com and Taurus Games. You have Spider-Man 2, The Sinister Six. And lastly, for the Game Boy Color, I was able to pick this up sealed, brand new, Sesame Street Sports from New Kid Co. Only for Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance, compatible with only Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance systems. So, Sesame Street Sports, it sports the Sesame Street way. Join all your friends from Sesame Street for some sensational sporting events. It will be a blast racing the dirt track with Zoe, bouncing big time with Cookie Monster, riding with Grover on his unicycle, shooting the rapids with Ernie, and inline skating with Elmo. So pick your favorite character and let's go. Race in 6 silly sporting events and play 6 different Sesame Street characters. Player controls special on-screen action. And age-appropriate controls of 3 different skill settings. And then it says, thank you. The money that Sesame Workshop receives when you buy a Sesame Street product is put right back into Sesame Street and other Sesame Workshop educational products. You can go to sesameworkshop.org and newkidco.com. Again, sealed for the Game Boy Color, we have Sesame Street Sports. Now we get to the Game Boy Advance games. First up from the classic NES series, I have Excitebike. It's only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Hit the dirt and ride to motocross glory in the classic NES racer for the Game Boy Advance. Excitebike's high-octane racing and high-flying hurdles made it an enduring crowd pleaser. Now you can play the original wheelie-poppin' side-scroll NES racer on your Game Boy Advance. Roar across the dirt track and take down rival riders to claim victory in the main motocross event, or design and race on your own monster motocross track. So from Nintendo, from the classic NES series, we have Excitebike for the Game Boy Advance. Next up, we have Castlevania Double Pack from Konami. We have Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance and Castlevania Area of Sorrow. 2 games on 1 game pack. It's only for the Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. GBA link cable. And EGM Magazine gave it 9.5 out, or excuse me, let's go to the first game. Battle Evil and 2 Legendary Castlevania Adventures. So Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance got 5 out of 5 stars from Play Magazine. The epitome of what a handheld title can aspire to is what it said. Justy Belmont, born of a family of vampire hunters, must collect the relics of Dracula in his castle in the moonlight. Explore the labyrinth, collect and learn powerful spells, and realize your destiny. And then Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. EGM Magazine gave it a 9.5 out of 10 and says Aria of Sorrow is the best GBA title to date. In 2035, Soma Cruz is summoned to a mysterious castle during the first solar eclipse of the 21st century. Confront vile monsters, collect souls, and escape before evil consumes you. Multiplayer games require 1 game pack per player and a Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. You can go to konami.com/GS. So again, we have a Castlevania Double Pack for the Game Boy Advance. I also, for the Game Boy Advance, was able to pick up Spyro Attack of the Rhinox from Universal Interactive. It is only for the Game Boy Advance GBA link cable, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Multiplayer games require Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. Rage Against the Rhinox with Spyro and friends. Sparks accidentally ripped open a hole into Ripto's world, and now a stampede of Rhinox is ruining the Dragon Realms. Save the realms as Spyro, Agent 9, or Sergeant Bird. Collect artifacts, play bonus minigames, and earn new skills, all in an effort to stop the Rhinox from smashing everything in sight. So here, explore one giant world and discover new lands, challenging minigames in multiplayer mode, All new side-scrolling Agent 9 action gameplay in the Game Boy Advance video game system. So again, from Vivendi Universal and Universal Interactive, we have Spyro Attack of the Rhinox. Next up for the Game Boy Advance from the NES Classic series, Classic NES series, we have Metroid. Only for Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Destroy the mother brain of Zebus and save the galaxy in the Classic NES game for the Game Boy Advance. Originally released in 1986, Metroid invented a genre and captivated a gaming generation. Now you can play this classic NES sci-fi epic on your Game Boy Advance. The year is 20X5, and space pirates have stolen the dangerous life forms known as Metroids, and plan to use them to destroy the galaxy. Only the space bounty hunter Samus Aran has the power to overturn the pirates' evil plot and save the galaxy. So again, from Nintendo for the Game Boy Advance, from the classic NES series, we have Metroid. In the last Game Boy Advance game, the last game of this video, we have Caesar's Palace Advance Millennium Gold Edition from Majesco. It's only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. With Caesar's Palace, stretch your entertainment dollar to the hilt with more gaming action than ever before available for the Game Boy Advance system. Enjoy the strategy of video poker, blackjack, slots, craps, roulette, and keno. Choose from numerous slot, keno, and video poker machines and feel the pulse-quickening excitement of each bet. When you're down on your luck, visit the conveniently located ATMs for additional cash or save the status of your account with any time using the password feature. With Caesar's Palace, experience the thrill and excitement of casino gambling right in the palm of your hand. So you can go to majescosales.com. It's from Pipe Dream Interactive and Interplay by gamers for gamers. You have your winner right up here in real casino action, and it shows you gameplay in the Game Boy Advance video game system. So again, for the Game Boy Advance, we have Caesar's Palace Advance Millennium Gold Edition. And those are the games that I was able to pick up through eBay. I'll give you a quick little scoop there, as you can see. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video, and stay tuned for Scratch Ticket Thursday at its normal time. Thank you very much.